Oh my! Oh, hello kids. It's not what you're thinking. I'm not scared of that mosquito. Okay, now since the topic is buzzing around, let me take you into the creepy world of this blood-sucking, biting, itching tiny creatures. The most dangerous predator on the planet who is responsible for the death of billions. It's none other than the mighty mosquito. So, let me tell you more about these pesky little creatures. Zoom in. Mosquitoes are part of a large group of insects called flies and are found everywhere in the world, including in your houses. There are nearly 3,500 species of mosquitoes, but they all serve just one purpose. They bite and suck blood. So, how do they do it? Let's find the answer to this itchy question. After finding its prime target, the mosquito will spread some saliva on its prey skin that acts like an antiseptic in order to numb the spot so that you don't notice its evil intention. Then it buries a part of its mouth deep into your skin. This part is known as the proboscis that kind of looks like a straw. With its proboscis underneath your skin, the mosquito hunts for a blood vessel. When it finds one, it again releases saliva into the wound, which contains a substance called an anticoagulant that keeps your blood flowing. And if it succeeds, one mosquito can drink blood up to 3 times of its body weight and can transmit potentially deadly diseases like malaria, dengue, Zika, etc. And if not that, it inevitably leaves an itchy red bump on your skin. Phew! Thank goodness you can't see this process. Ouch! So, what can you do to treat the mosquito bite and make the itch go away? First of all, don't scratch it. As tempting as it might be, avoid scratching mosquito bites. Scratching can further hurt the skin. Instead, wash the area with mild, soapy water. This process will often help decrease the itchy sensation. Trivia time! Did you know that only female mosquitoes bite? To reduce the chances of getting bitten and contracting a mosquito-borne disease, start using a mosquito repellent. So kids, I hope you have learned a lot about these tiny devils that bite us, annoy us, and stop us from playing outside. But the most important thing we learned today is that no matter how deadly mosquitoes are, I am not scared of them. Oh, ouch! Help! Okay kids, see you next time for some more fun facts. This is me zooming out. Help! Ouch! I think I have been bitten by a bed bug. Now I'll explain the situation by answering a blood-sucking question. What if a bed bug bites you? Zoom in! Bedbugs belong to the Simidae family, which comprises around 100 species of small parasitic insects that feed on warm-blooded animals. The species most commonly found around humans is Cimex lectularius, a reddish-brown wingless insect that is about 1/4 of an inch like an apple seed. Female bedbugs are tiny but mighty capable of laying hundreds of eggs throughout their lives. Each one so small it's barely the size of a dust speck. Their offspring, called nymphs, shed their skin 5 times before becoming adults, needing a blood meal before each molt. Under the right conditions, these pests can mature in just a month and may produce multiple generations yearly, living rent-free in your bed, furniture, and clothing. They don't fly, but they move quickly over floors, walls, and ceilings, usually hunting for one thing: your blood. Yes, they crawl out of their spaces usually at night, following the trail of the carbon dioxide you exhale, the heat from your body, and even the smell of your dirty laundry. Once it locks onto the target, it uses its needle-like mouth to pierce your skin. To make sure you don't feel a thing, it injects a numbing agent along with an anticoagulant to keep your blood from clotting. This allows the bug to drink as much blood as it needs, sometimes swelling up to look like a tiny balloon by the time it's done. But don't worry, my friends. While bed bugs are a nuisance, fortunately, they don't spread diseases. However, it doesn't change the fact that they can be really annoying and cause great discomfort. And let's not forget the rare allergic reaction. So, it's important to take certain steps to save yourself from this itchy experience. And what are they? Well, if you suspect you've been bitten by a bed bug, the first thing to do is not to panic. Then, wash the bite area with soap and water to reduce the risk of infection and help soothe the skin. Applying an anti-itch cream or lotion can help reduce itching and swelling. You may also try applying a cold cloth or an ice pack wrapped in a towel. Whatever you do, try not to scratch the bites, as this can lead to further irritation or infection. If you notice signs of an allergic reaction or the bites become increasingly painful, consult a healthcare professional immediately. And to prevent a bed bug infestation in your home, be careful when traveling. Check your hotel bed for signs of bed bugs and keep your luggage off the floor. If you do find bed bugs in your home, it's best to call a professional exterminator. They often use heat treatments, as bed bugs can't survive temperatures above 110 degrees Fahrenheit for long periods. So the next time you feel a mysterious itch, remember, it might just be a bed bug, but it's nothing you can't handle. Trivia time! Did you know that once a bed bug finds a host, it usually feeds for 5 to 10 minutes until it is replete? Yes, and after having the meal, they move to secluded places and hide for 5 to 10 days. Hope you learned something bugging today. Until next time, it's me, Dr. Binocs, zooming out. Ouch, ouch, ow, 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 oh, ow, oh. Quickly, spray the bed bug repellent, kitty. Never mind. Hey there, little kitty. Everything okay? Sounds like you might have a little hitchhiker. Let's get you to the vet for a tick check. And while we are on the way, let me scratch that itchy question for you. What if a tick bites you? Zoom in! One fine day, you return home after an amazing adventure in the woods. Everything seems great. Until later that night, when you feel a tiny itch, you reach down, scratch, and wait a second. What is that? You look closer and see a tiny round 8-legged creature clinging to your skin. Yep, a tick. Ticks are small arachnids, meaning they're related to spiders. Some are as tiny as a pencil point, while others are big enough to spot easily. They love to hang out in grassy and wooded areas, waiting for a warm-blooded host like you to brush past so that they can hitch a ride. But ticks aren't just looking for a free trip. They are after a meal. Then, they do this by cutting into the skin with tiny saw-like mouth parts and inserting a special feeding tube. As they feed, their saliva releases a numbing agent, so you might not even feel the bite happening, and they can feed on blood for hours, sometimes even days. Gross, right? Now, before you start panicking and ditching outdoors forever, take a deep breath, as most tick bites are harmless. However, some ticks carry bacteria that can cause diseases like Lyme disease or Rocky Mountain spotted fever. That's why it's important to remove them quickly and correctly. Let us see how. If you find a tick on your skin, don't try to burn it off with a match or smother it with petroleum jelly. These methods don't work. Instead, grab a pair of tweezers and carefully grasp the tick as close to your skin as possible. Then pull straight up with steady pressure. Don't twist or jerk it, as that can cause parts of the tick to break off and stay in your skin. If a small piece does remain, don't worry. Your body will push it out over time. Once the tick is out, wash the bite area and your hands with soap and water. Then disinfect the spot with rubbing alcohol. But even after that, it's a good idea to keep an eye on the bite for the next few weeks. Some ticks carry germs that can cause infections. So, if you develop a fever, headache, muscle aches, or a bullseye-like rash, it's time to call a doctor. These could be the signs of Lyme disease. Similarly, if you notice red dots on your wrists or ankles, that could be a sign of Rocky Mountain spotted fever, another tick-borne illness that needs medical attention. Therefore, the best way to deal with ticks is to avoid getting bitten in the first place. So, if you're heading into an area where ticks might be lurking, wear long sleeves and pants. And tuck your pant legs into your socks to make it harder for them to reach your skin. Using a medically approved insect repellent like DEET can also help keep them away. After spending time outdoors, always check yourself and your pets for any unwanted hitchhikers. Pay extra attention to spots like your scalp, behind your ears, under your arms, and even between your toes. Ticks love hiding in these areas. Here we go. Now you know how to handle ticks like a pro. So, go ahead, explore, hike, and enjoy nature. Trivia time! Did you know there are almost 900 tick species? Yes, and 90 of these are found in the continental United States. Hope you learned something new today. Until next time, it's me, Dr. Binocs, zooming out. Well, never mind.
Pass the salt, please.
Salt? But we haven't even started eating yet.
for eating. Kitty wants to get rid of this.
Oh no, salt's a bad idea. It could make things worse.
Why?
Well, before I grab something to safely remove it, let's first find out what happens when a leech bites you. Zoom in. Leeches are squishy, stretchy and slightly creepy worms with two suckers, one at the front near the mouth for feeding and one at the back for gripping. But despite their simple appearance, they possess multiple brains, hundreds of tiny teeth, and even the ability to sense heat and movement. While they have a reputation for drinking blood, most of the 650 species prefer a less dramatic diet of tiny creatures and decaying matter. But a select few, they are the thrill seekers of the leech world, willing to take a daring bite out of mammals, including humans. Let's find out how they do it. You see, leeches are highly sensitive to heat, movement, and chemicals like carbon dioxide from breathing, which helps them detect potential hosts. Some, especially aquatic leeches, actively swim toward a target, while land leeches crawl toward warm-blooded animals. Once a leech finds a suitable spot, it anchors itself with the sucker at its rear end for stability. It then releases an anesthetic compound to numb the area, ensuring you don't feel pain as its three sharp jaws slice into the skin, creating a small incision. Next, the leech must prevent the blood from clotting, so its salivary glands secrete hirudin, an anticoagulant that keeps the blood flowing as the leech rhythmically sucks it out. During a single feeding session, a leech can consume up to 10 times its body weight in blood. After about 20 to 40 minutes of feeding, the leech naturally detaches from the skin, leaving behind a small bleeding wound due to the lingering anticoagulants in the bloodstream. While the bleeding stops after a few hours, you may notice redness, swelling, and itching at the bite site. Some people may also experience mild pain or warmth in the affected area, but for healthy individuals, a single leech bite is generally harmless. In fact, leeches are even used in medical therapy to improve blood circulation and aid in healing. However, that doesn't mean there are no risks. In rare cases, a leech bite can lead to an infection, often marked by increased redness, warmth, and pus formation. Leeches can also carry bacteria in their gut, which may contaminate the wound and potentially transmit an infection. This risk increases if a leech regurgitates its stomach contents, often filled with germ-laden blood, into the wound. This can happen if you try to remove a leech by squeezing, burning, or using other aggressive methods like sprinkling salt. Additionally, if someone is bitten by a large number of leeches at once, excessive blood loss could occur, particularly if they have underlying health conditions or are in a remote area without medical assistance. If you ever find a leech too attached to you, use a clean fingernail, credit card, or similar flat object to gently slide under its mouth and detach it. Once the front sucker is loose, do the same for the rear sucker. After removal, clean the bite with soap and water. Apply an antiseptic and monitor for signs of infection. And for extreme cases, seeking immediate medical attention is crucial. Trivia time! Did you know leeches have a segmented nervous system with 32 mini brains, technically ganglia, spread throughout their body? Also, blood-sucking leeches have 3 jaws, each lined with tiny sharp teeth up to 300. Hope you learned something new today. Until next time, it's me, Dr. Binocs, zooming out. All right, kitty, hold still. I'll get that leech off.
Wait! Don't remove it!
Why not?
It's free therapy!
Never mind.
Hey! Hello, Dr. Binocs!
Hi, Bat Bud. How are you? Hello, friends. Meet Bat Bud.
Hey ho, buddies! Surprised that I can see you, right?
Of course they are. They thought you were blind. Haven't you heard as blind as a bat? Come, let me tell you some eye-opening facts about bats. Zoom in. Okay, so first things first. Bats can see. Yes, they can. You'd think I'm lying, right? Of course not. Bats can see just as well as humans. However, at night, their ears become more important than their eyes, as they can use a special sonar system called echolocation, which means to find things using echoes. The process is simple. When a bat flies, it makes shooting sounds, which is way too high for humans to hear. These sound waves hit an object and echoes are created. These echoes travel back to the bat, and that is how they know what is ahead of them. Now, many of you think that all bats suck blood. Well, you're mighty wrong. Most of the bats are called fruit bats, as they feed on fruits. And they are cute. Trust me on that. There are only 3 species of vampire bats, and they don't suck blood. They might bite an animal and lick blood, but don't suck it. The bat's saliva contains a chemical that prevents blood from clotting. Hence, the blood keeps flowing. Oh, there's another chemical in the bat's saliva that numbs the victim's skin so that they don't wake up. Smarty pants they are, aren't they? Have you ever wondered why do bats hang upside down? That's because it's the best position to take off. Well, some things are best when they are upside down. Let me show you. Well, not me for sure. Trivia time! Bats help a lot in pollination. They drink nectar from flowers, travel great distances, and spread pollen grains everywhere. Bats are the only mammals to be able to fly. So, Bat Bud, planning to take off again?
Oh, yes I am!
Hey, wait, I'll come with you. So, this is me zooming off. Tune in next time for more fun facts.